Men of Reddit, what do women do that they think is okay but is actually creepy? Honestly, hands down, women who exploit emotions of men. We may not all cry in the movie theater, but we are not incapable of experiencing deep painful emotional wounds. In general, it seems to be more acceptable for women to rag on guys for our image, like our height, weight, or income. While the flip side being that men cannot criticize women without being a pig. So yeah, women who nitpick guys for superficial reasons are creepy, arrogant, and covered with more red flags than a game of Minesweeper. Always asking if I got flirted with, no matter where I go. Did anyone flirt with you? What the heck? It's flag football. Who would flirt with me at flag football? Being hypocritical about sexism. Hear about guy hitting girl, what in butthole. Hear about girl hitting guy, well, what did he do? Older man hitting on much younger woman. What a creep. Older woman hitting on much younger man. You get it, girl. Making small dong jokes. Funny. Making fat jokes about men. Funny. Making short jokes about men. Funny. Making any jokes about a woman's appearance. Super not okay. Tickling and getting peed when I don't like it. Girl, I don't like getting tickled. I really hate it. I don't care that it's some way to show affection. I don't want it, and for frick's sake it's not my problem and I don't have to man up and take it. What the heck? No means no. Wife bragged to friends about our sex life. We live in a small town and now it feels like everywhere I go, I'm being giggled and smiled at. It's really violating. Time to tell your wife it's not okay. I'd be mortified. IDK if it's just me, but the baby voice and behavior really puts me off. One annoying girl that unfortunately hanged out with my friend group kept doing this to my friend. I think she liked him. I proceeded to baby voice at my friend immediately after she did it. It killed it pretty quickly. You know what you don't like men doing? You don't get to do that either. Just apply that to literally everything in life and you'll come out ahead. Not exclusively a woman thing, but my ex would screenshot our text conversations and send them to her family and friends for reaction. Like mundane conversations, not even anything interesting. It felt like a very creepy violation of my privacy. Also, she was an idiot. Hope you see this, Laura. Haha, this sounds like one of my exes who was also named Laura. You have to install this GPS tracking app on your phone so I know where you are anytime I want to check. That's a serious trust issue. Yes, it is annoying. Tell me that my almost 2-year-old son is so handsome and going to break hearts, be a lady killer. If I rolled up to a park and told a mom how good looking her daughter was and that all the boys are going to want her, they'd call the cops. I have a friend that whenever she starts dating a guy, just lists me off thing about the dude like she's listing a resume. Never anything about the personality or sense of humor or what characteristics about them she enjoys. It's job, career, college, earnings, house. I had to tell her it was getting creepy because it just sounds like she's getting a checklist to impress people, not find a good person for her. Distributing nudes they get from guys to their friends without permission. I've caught several women doing it and they'll argue about it if asked to stop. Yet another example of it only being an issue if the genders are reversed. That's illegal. You could press charges for that, girl or boy. Maybe not creepy, but FFS, stop pulling on my beard and arm hair. Like, that crap is seriously uncomfortable, and pulling out a beard hair stings like frick. It's literally attached to my face. You are in my personal space, tugging my hair, and causing me a little pain. Ladies, I don't care how fun it is. Please stop or I'll make fun of your eyebrows. Double standards on sexual harassment. I've pretty much only had female bosses at work and several jobs, and the amount of times I've received unwanted words, touches, hugs, grabs, feels, and kisses would shock most people. The way girls share really personal things about guys in relation to sex. Society and the media would have you believe that guys talk about sex all the time and just objectify the women that thieves slept with. I don't know if maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong people, but honestly the most you usually get out of a guy is just that they had sex with a girl, and the only time we discuss details are when you're just like trading stories. But girls tend to like immediately report on things to their friends. and share details that honestly could be embarrassing or uncomfortable for the guy. It makes me really uncomfortable and creeped out to think that if I sleep with the girls I have to just accept that all of her friends are going to know every detail about the experience, size, performance, how long it lasted, how I look. It just feels like a huge breach of privacy. This has always messed with me. I can literally count on one hand the number of times men in my life have discussed a woman sexually or objectifyingly, and 3 of those times we were like 15. But it's just taken as granted that all men are constantly waiting for the women to leave the room so we can rate their boobs. Not creepy, but when a woman sees a single dad with his kid and feels it's okay to tell them they're doing great. I get they may feel like they're being supportive or whatever, but the stigma behind guys not knowing how to raise a child is infuriating. I have 50/50 custody of my child and she's raised brilliantly by both me and her mum. I can guarantee mum never gets random praises just for walking through a shop with our child though. It's not supportive. It's condescending as heck, and please stop. I've had this happen a few times, but I don't know if it is more common or less common. When I go to a bar for a drink on say a Friday night, I usually go with friends. I'll head to the bathroom and sometimes the bar will be crowded, so I'll have to slip through a group of people. Several times I'll get rubbed or caressed by women. Sometimes on the groin, sometimes on the chest or shoulders. It's not wanted, nor am I signaling I want to be touched, just saying excuse me and going past. It bothers me every time. Once had a girl at a club straight up put her hand down my pants and ask me when I'm going to frick her. I couldn't really process what had happened at the time and just said I'm not, I have a girlfriend or something. It wasn't till I started thinking how peed I would be if someone did that to my GF that I realized how fricked up it was. Asking password to social accounts or phone. I had one like that. She would throw a giant crap fit for hours about wanting to see me email accounts for no reason. After hours of her bad behavior, I'd show her and let her look all she wanted just to find nothing. This happened multiple times and never got an apology. We broke up and of course she tells me that she was cheating. GL with that abusive woman, dude. Ask their friends to give them explicit details of their sexual encounters, especially if it's with a BF. My girlfriend will get explicit information from her friend about her boyfriend, then pass it on to me. I like the guy and I feel as if I'm invading his privacy. I really don't need to know how he fricks or how big his dong is. It's creepy and I hope she doesn't do the same to me. Okay, so this is something both me and my brother had happen to us. We are both pretty young, around 20, but we were at some parties where people of all ages were around recently. At one party, we had just finished performing with our orchestra and we were still in our uniforms. Then when I was getting some beers, some random lady of over 40 said to me, "Would you like to change clothes? I want to look like I am in the orchestra." So naturally, I'm like, well, I'd rather not, but she was like, "Oh please," and she kept on trying to talk to me. On another party, some lady, also of over 40, who was really seeking attention, started to hold my brother by the waist. My brother told me he was really weirded out by her. She tried to do this multiple times, even after I lured my brother away by pretending I needed to say something to him. I don't really know if this is something a lot of middle-aged ladies do, but them acting like that really weirded me out, and they seem to do this as if it was the most normal thing in the world. Went out with a group of guys last weekend. There were 6 of us and this random girl started hanging around us like a lost puppy and just wouldn't leave. She was attractive, but so obviously desperate for attention that none of our group of guys really cared to give her any. This girl was just looking at everyone, batting her eyes and trying to hug everyone, but the guys were just pawning her off on each other. Not sure if this is pathetic more than creepy, but if a guy did the same thing, he'd be labeled with creepy. So yeah, she was creepy to me. I honestly thought she was an escort or something trying to sell services or some crap. The way she was approaching dudes, it's not freaking normal. Probably trying to get free drinks. Going to pride events, gay bars and groping the men whether they like it or not. Like frick off, creep. Or just groping gay friends in general. Yes, Molly, I totally wanted you to grab my butt as a way to say hi while I was at the printer in the campus library. When women say things like "if I were 10 years younger" about underage boys, it's creepy, gives off pedo vibes, and if the genders were reversed you'd call the FBI. My dad married a woman when I was in middle school. She used to say this to me all the time. If I were younger I would have picked you, not your dad. It always weirded me out, but she was weird and creepy on whole other levels. Pulling up the hem of your kilt to see if you're true Scotsman. I was wearing a kilt in an indie movie and 3 different actresses tried to peek under it to see if I was authentic. I told them no, I'm doing fight scenes. If you want to see my dong just ask, and then they got mad at me. Being way too open about their sex life. I have never in my life heard a guy describe exactly how his GF swag looks like or how she sounds when orgasming. Unwanted physical contact. Was out to dinner with a bunch of friends. Coincidentally, they were all women, and the waitress was hitting on me, which involved obvious compliments, which I don't care about, and putting her hands all over my shoulders and upper chest. We all had a laugh about it after, but I was seriously weirded out by it, and were the genders reversed I guarantee no one would have been laughing about it. Making a new social media account after I block you. X demanded I take down of a single picture of a platonic female friend who I have known over a decade and who is happily married to a mutual friend of ours. Said picture was part of a cluster of 8 total. The other 7 pictures were just group pictures of said platonic friend and mostly other male friends. As a gay guy, women seem to think that it's okay to touch me, in a general way, and sometimes even in a more inappropriate way. Lady, I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. Sure, we had a nice brief conversation, but don't touch me. Don't wrap your hands around my legs so you can gawk at the size of my legs. Don't squeeze my pec, or think that I want a hug despite never having met you before. I am avoiding physical contact not only to be respectful of your boundaries, but because I also have boundaries I don't want you to violate. Consent works both ways, always. Don't touch me. I'd wager that most women wouldn't do this and wouldn't think this is okay, but my now ex-girlfriend went through my phone without asking for permission. In my experience, not necessarily a majority, but not unusual, which is why I conduct business through burner phones and airdrops. Disregard consent with gay male friends. It's definitely not most women, but it does happen sometimes. Get peed off if you are not in the mood for sex. Like WTF you're a man. You always want to frick. Do you not like me anymore? No, Andrea. I was just not frisky that day and yes I liked you a lot. I've had this happen with an ex. Was all good if she wasn't in the mood, but how dare I not be in the mood. Perving on men. So many times in the workplace I have heard women say what they would like to do to a certain man. Almost drooling in public. If a man said the same comments they would be fired. It's just tacky and inappropriate from anyone anytime anywhere. This is stuff you say to your best friend but no one else. Straight girls who go to gay bars to be all like yes queen you woo, and straight girls who go to lesbian bars and get offended when a girl hits on them. When she wants to know my Reddit username. Completely unhealthy. Imagine if they actually find you. Your username is damning to creepy girls. Social media stalking is a little crazy, especially from stuff before I met you. Touch my butt without consent. Sometimes I just be performing my respiratory responsibilities and I feel a slight touch to my butt and now I'm uncomfortable and confused because I'm too scared to turn around and find out who dared touch my precious bum. Setting up traps to test us. Being upset with something we did said in your dreams. Lying to our faces when we ask direct questions like, what is wrong? How are you? Etc. Go to love the if I'm upset you need to ask me why and talk about our feelings. But then when that situation arises and I do just that, and you say nothing, I don't want to talk about it, don't get mad that I shrug and leave it be. I'm not going to play that game. Talk like a child. I don't know if that is creepy, but it is super annoying sometimes. But I do like 87 voices in a day, so I'll let it slide. A few of my relationships have ended because my GFS wouldn't talk to me about an issue in our relationship, which is weird cause supposedly that's a male trait. I just don't like confrontation. Well, the alternative is that I'm breaking up with you now because you've avoided talking to me about the issue for a few months when I keep trying to bring it up. So, it's not confrontation, it's a discussion. Ugh, I feel your pain. Man. This is only really for the gay men out there I think, but having a girl instantly label you as her gay best friend as soon as she finds out you're gay, like, bitch, I don't even like you. Touching me when you're a complete stranger. I'm in really good shape and the amount of women who would touch my arms, shoulders, and chest when I'm out was too high. This happened like 3 times in high school. Girls call you attractive as their way of calling you ugly, you know? Like some weird sarcasm reverse psychology thing. One of those times 2 girls were walking behind me in the hallway. One taps on my shoulder so I turn around and she says she thinks you're cute, then the other girl said she wants to suck your dong. I just told them I have a girlfriend because 1, I do, and 2, I know what they're doing, and I walked faster. Weird, this happened to me in high school a few times too, but reverse genders. My friend wants to talk to you. He thinks you're cute, but clearly the group is snickering and or trying to embarrass their friend. I always thought this was something cruel boys did. Lesson learned. High school has buttholes in many forms. Sorry you went through that though. Crap's annoying. Women invading men's personal space but then proceed to freak out when men invade theirs. Hypocrisy is ugly on everyone. This might be a cultural thing for Latinos, but there were some weird sexual comments said by female family members to my son when he was a toddler. They would call him my boyfriend and ask for kisses in a very aggressive way. When I changed his diapers, they'd stand around and say "de queen ssa pippy," which roughly translates to "whose dong is that," which led me to always change his diaper in a private room, even when told that you can do it here. It's okay, we're all family. One of my aunts even commented on how his dong has grown since he was a baby. Yeah, his whole body has grown. There's no need to talk about his dong specifically. Step away from my child. I guess this is all done in a cute or innocent way, but I never liked it. You have been visited by the romantic doggo. Comment love is magic so you never fall in the friend zone. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.